So the cat came back to the theaters after 10 years. Let's talk about Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Hey everyone, this is David Stark from Watcher Pass, and I'm here to talk to you about Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is coming to theaters on December 21st, 2022. It is one of the last releases of the year. It might be the last kids movie of the year, and it's coming to theaters. So hey, you're gonna probably see it anyways. So if you got kids, is it any good? Let me tell you, my hot take is I think you should rent it. Look, it has some really good aspects. I love the animation. I love some of the fun additional characters. Some of the humor is good, but it is very, very random. It kind of feels like a story that was thrown together, almost like a made for TV movie kind of story, and it is scarier at times than I really expected. So I think overall it is a rental. It is entertaining, at least it is a fun movie. Now for kids, for parents who want to know if this is okay for their kids, I thought it was a little, like I said, scarier than I expected. It has some rude humor and some like masked language. I think it should be good for kind of like older toddlers. I wouldn't take young kids to see it. But you know what, overall, it's not that bad. Although the scary parts were a lot scarier than I thought. They were really nice looking. They were very stylish, but they're a little bit more intense than I was really expecting in a Puss in Boots movie. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about the film, a few things I liked and a few things I didn't like. There will be some spoilers in this, but not a ton. And I will make sure to let you know when there will be spoilers. So in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, you have Puss in Boots. He's back and he is on a new swashbuckling adventure. It kind of comes out of nowhere. It starts off where he is on a quest to get this wish. There's this like shooting star that fell to whatever this land is, fairy tale land, I guess. And whoever finds it gets to make one wish. Now, Puss in Boots needs it, but also there are several other people kind of competing for this one wish. So Puss in Boots goes off and he has to avoid some other bounty hunters, some other people who are very interested in this wish as well. And during the course of this, he finds out more about himself, he makes some new friends along the way, and he has a pretty grandiose adventure. So, things I liked about this film. The first, hey, look, the animation is really, really good. What I really loved is it has like a really nice animation style for the main characters. There's some really great lights. There's some really enjoyable kind of awe-inspiring moments, but it also has this really interesting kind of like cel-shaded look to it, like a cel-shaded but with pastel kind of look. It looks like maybe all, in some aspects like an oil painting in part. There's a really unique, striking visual style that I really love. And I also love that it wasn't kind of like cookie cutter from the Shrek universe. Like Puss in Boots is from the Shrek universe, but this film definitely feels different. It looks different. It isn't just kind of like a continuation of that line. This is its own separate film, its own separate film entity. Second thing I really loved is the music. There aren't that many like songs. I think there really is only one, but the atmospheric music is very, very beautiful. It has this nice kind of like Spanish feel to it that really kind of ups the drama when you need it to, and also gets your heart moving for some of the heartfelt moments. There are some heartfelt moments in this film as well. The third thing I liked, some of the humor. It's not crazy funny, but there are some very entertaining moments, especially when some of the characters do very silly things. Look, it's a kids movie. You're gonna have some funny moments, and I really enjoyed those parts as well. The fourth thing I liked, the side characters. Look, I didn't really like Puss in Boots' character that much, but I really like some of the side characters. I loved meeting, Goldilocks and the Bears. They have a very interesting kind of take on the Goldilocks story, and they play a pivotal role in this film, and I really loved them. Also, Puss in Boots made some new friends along the way. I really liked Perro, his new friend. I can't roll my R's, but Perro is as good as I can get. And there's a really fun, like, wise cricket grasshopper kind of character that I really liked as well. So there are a lot of really fun side characters that you meet along the way that kind of keep the story entertaining and fun. And the last thing I really loved are the references, and not just fairy tale references. This has a lot of fairy tale references, some classic fairy tales. That's kind of what Shrek does. Shrek takes riffs on old fairy tales and kind of like changes them up into a funny kids way. This film also has that, but there are also some contemporary references that I really like. There's a ton of them in there. I caught a few, but if you pay attention, I'm sure you'll see a lot more. So things I didn't really love that much. Look, the first is it is a very random film. Like the movie starts off so strangely. I mean, Puss in Boots is like in a castle. He's kind of like taking it over from this governor who was on a quest, and Puss in Boots kind of like made it his own. There's this big party and everyone is dancing and drinking milk and having fun, and then the governor comes back and Puss in Boots has to escape. And oh, during this escape, He makes a lot of noise and wakes up some giant that's nearby the castle, and then there's this like big epic fight with this giant and the story kind of goes from there. It feels like everything is kind of slapped together. It feels like there's a lot of very convenient things that happen in this film to move it along. Look, it's a kids movie, sometimes that happens, but I would have liked a more kind of coherent story along the way, maybe something related more to like a traditional fairy tale than what they ended up doing. And the second thing I didn't love is it was pretty scary at times, like, especially for some younger kids. There is an enemy that kind of pursues Puss in Boots through this film, and he is a fairly dark character. When he goes on screen, it is very beautiful because it's a very stylish look, like everything becomes like black and white and red, and it is very striking, but it also is a little scarier than I expected for a kids movie. I mean, my kids seemed okay with it, but they definitely did not love those parts of the film. So if you got young kids or kids that maybe scare easily, you might want to wait to watch this at home, just because then you can maybe fast forward or turn it off. Up to you. And the last thing I didn't really love is there's some rude humor. Like, it's not like Shrek rude. Like, there are some scenes where a character is speaking and they bleep out words, which can be funny, but maybe not in a movie geared towards young kids. I didn't love those aspects of it as well. There's some humor that I just didn't think was great for a kids movie. But hey, look, maybe I'm old school. Maybe I'm too concerned about that kind of stuff. But overall, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is coming to theaters on December 21st, 2022. It's only coming to theaters for now. My ultimate recommendation is a rental. I don't think you should like run out to see it in theaters, but I know a lot of people will be home for the holidays. They're gonna have kids they want to keep entertained. So if you go out and see it, at least you'll have a fun hour and a half. So thanks so much for watching. If you liked this review, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.